The GRMC interview that we had lined up wasn't precisely the interview that I really wanted, but because we were talking about Brian Fegurgur, not everybody knows his name, but he was able to assist in a very big way last week or the week before in the dislodging of a knife from a stabbing victim's head. And it was the conversation last week with Dr. Shea about what happened in that operating room. Another person who was in the operating room was Dr. Lester Whitley, who actually is in charge of the operating rooms over the Guam Regional Medical City. Lester Whit, I think they call you Whit, right?
Yes, Patti, they call me Whit.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Whit. How are you?
You as well. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Fantastic. Listen, not that you're second best, but I think the interesting part of the conversation was having Brian, standing there, as everybody's having this sort of pre-operation council on how the best way. Apparently, it's not in any medical book that anybody could consult at the time, so he came up with a pretty good idea, and you were a witness to that, yes?
Yes, I was. The conversation was between the physicians, but the conversation before that was between Brian we was trying to figure out what equipment we needed for this procedure. Mm-hmm. So Brian actually thought about it before he even talked with the physicians before we even got in the room. So when Dr. Weingartner came into the room, Brian showed him what he said that might work. So, we always try to do it the easier way, which was brute strength, but that wouldn't quite work where the knife was embedded at. So when Brian showed him, he said, okay. And then when he couldn't pull it out, he took the vice grips and we took the 5-pound mallet, and it worked. But Brian thought about it way before we even got a chance to even talk about it.
Yeah. So we kind of made a joke on the radio the other day. He must have been, a kid that had a ranch and he watched his uncle MacGyver things all the time. Do you know if he sort of tinkers with stuff like that?
Actually, he does tinker. He tinkers a lot, and that's what makes him a good technician because he looks way outside the box. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the times you needed to think outside the box. I mean, we use those same tools that Brian used. We use them in orthopedic surgery every day, but we never use it in neurosurgery, which is one of Brian's jobs, and he's the senior technician for neurosurgery. And he thought about it because of the other things he's done in the past, which makes him a good technician because you always rely on all the things you learned along the way.
Sure.
You never know we're going to use them, so he used what he learned.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Was there a moment of any kind of hesitation that, oh boy, that just sounds unconventional, or is this actually not as unconventional as we think?
Actually, believe it or not, it's not that unconventional because if people look at what we do for orthopedics, using a mallet, using pliers, that is second nature for what we do. So when you think about it, it's like having a garage and you use all the tools to fix your car. When you do orthopedics, that's what we look at. We look at all the tools we need to fix something. Neurosurgery is a little bit more delicate. So when you think about mallet, you don't really think about hitting anybody with it. Mm-hmm. But with the pliers, and the pliers is like kind of a fulcrum, you attach it to where the blade was, and then you tap very lightly, it comes up. It's like saying tap, tap. And you tap, tap, and it came out.
Huh. So I guess that's really it was definitely experience that was applied. I wonder, has he had ideas like this in the past, or is this one for the books?
Actually, this is one for the books. We haven't thought that far out of the box, but it's one for the books. But now we know it works. We'll put it in our box, and if we have to use it, we'll use it again. So you never know. Like I say, you never know what you're going to need into the situation arise, and that was one of them out of the ordinary situations.
Are you seeing sort of more and more of these, like you say, garage tools making their way into these operating rooms, or has this always been? I mean, any tool is a tool that can do anything.
Actually, the tools that we use, if you look at the types of surgery we use different tools for different types of surgery. Orthopedic is the one that normally uses that type of equipment for mallets, for pliers. Neurosurgery use more fine decisive tools because they work in a very fine, confined space. But for orthopedics, we work on bones, and bones are hard, so you need other things to be able to get to them. We drill, we put screws in, we put plates in, so we do that. But in neurosurgery, we use delicate screws and delicate plates.
I see.
For orthopedics, we use the more conventional type things, but everything is medical grade, so you can't go down to Home Depot and buy a hammer and just stick it in the operating room until we're going to use it.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. That's good. Is there a Craftsman line? There's a Craftsman like tool chest or something similar to that?
No. We don't have a Craftsman tool chest. We actually have all the stuff that actually comes from medical grade suppliers, and we have different chests to put them in.
Yeah.
So we don't have the big red chest. We have small pans to put all that stuff in, and they get sterilized in a period of time, and everything is above board and it's all by standards.
Isn't that interesting? There's always a line that's drawn between cars and, human anatomy. It's amazing. We have a guy who does what we call Tech Talk on Thursdays, and he's the certified lead mechanic for the for Triple J Auto Group here. So it's all of the different lines and all of the fleets. And every time he comes in, we talk about something. He relates it to the human body, which is really interesting. The different sciences, how they come together like that.
They actually do. I think, like I say, a lot of times when you look at surgery and you go back to the history of surgery, you can see some of the instruments that people use doing ordinary things that they modified them and made them better for use inside surgery. So if you ever really want to see some fun facts, just go back and look at medical history and look at the type of instrumentation that was in 1895 and what we use in 2016, and you'd be surprised. They're kind of similar.
Well, it's interesting, but the tools that you use in the operating room are far more expensive than the ones they use at the auto shop, it sounds like.
Yeah, they are very expensive. When you talk about medical grade stuff, they are very expensive. But, we need the best for the people that we work for, because the people we want to do our best with, and the people are always our customers, so we want to do the best we can do. So we buy the expensive toys to make it better for the people.
Well, I am refreshed to know that not only do we have the technology that's been available, the tools are the tools, but if you don't have the right people in the room talking about how to make those tools work to save somebody's life, it all means really nothing. So, congratulations to the team for sure, and for Brian Fegurgur, who doesn't want to stand in the spotlight. Thanks for stepping up for him, though, Doctor.
Yeah, actually, I'm a nurse. I'm actually his boss. I'm a nurse. I'm RN. So I'm not a doctor. I'm a nurse.
Oh, he said you're a doctor. Okay, you're not. Lester Whitley, but you're the guy who runs the operating room. So
actually, I am Lester Whitley. That is me.
Yeah. Well, I know you are. That's why we're talking to you. I appreciate your time, Whit. It's nice to meet you, and we look forward to hearing more really good stories coming out of GRMC.
Thank you.
All right.
We appreciate it, and Brian appreciates it. And like I say, he's a stoic kind of guy, and he's all about the business, about the work.
Nice to know. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your precious time.